So I lost $500,000 in real estate at one point in my life, and I have to tell you, it was a gut-wrenching experience. In this video, I want to give you a short story of how it happened and the lessons I learned along the way so you guys can actually avoid the disaster I experienced. A good teacher of mine asked his students rhetorically one time, "What's the best way to get wealthy and successful?" And he quickly replied, "The best way to get wealthy and successful is to avoid disaster." With that being said, even though I was down $500,000 at one point in my life, I still think that real estate is a great vehicle to achieve financial freedom. But in order to do so, you have to understand a few key things. For me, I got into real estate investing around 2004, a few years before the 2009 financial crisis. From 2004 to 2007, I bought a total of 5 properties in different cities and states. I loved the game of wealth building and trying to figure out which places were the best to invest. However, when the 2009 financial crisis hit, I literally went from hero to zero. Actually, less than zero, like a lot of people during that time. The 5 properties I purchased in Oklahoma, Southern California, Raleigh, Nashville, and Phoenix all went under big time. I never took out aggressive negative AM loans, and most of the time, or if not all, I put 20% down on all the properties I bought. But when 2009 happened, everything just dropped like a rock. As I think back, it felt like a Category 5 hurricane went through the housing market. Ironically, a few of the housing markets that I bought back then are now the best places to buy for the future. So if you're curious, check out those videos after that up there, after this one. Getting back to my properties, if you add up all the paper losses, it was close to $500K. And I have to tell you, back then, it was not an easy time to own property, seeing all the foreclosures and job losses. Because I had a consistent paying job, I was fortunate that none of the properties I owned went into foreclosure. I literally survived by the skin of my teeth, saving every penny I made, cutting drastically back on all my expenses, and also created a side hustle. During that challenging time, I was thinking to myself, how could I save even more money than what I was already saving? I thought to myself that going out to lunch would probably cost $10 to $15 a pop, so I made it a goal for myself to bring lunch to work for 3 months straight. The 3 months turned into a year, and after accomplishing a year, I actually just kept on going. I made it to 2 years of bringing my lunch to work every day. And what can I say? Extreme times calls for extreme measures. During the financial crisis, I had friends and colleagues who were real estate multimillionaires get just totally wiped out. In fact, one friend who had 20 plus properties lost it all, and it took years for her to recover from that. And this all happened because she had too much leverage. In fact, with real estate, because most properties are bought with loans, you quickly find out that you can not only go to zero, you can also go below zero. To go down the list of my losses, the Oklahoma property that I bought for $180,000, I sold for a $90,000 loss. The Southern California property I bought for $220,000 tanked to $100,000 at its lowest. So that's 120 grand gone right there. The Raleigh, North Carolina condo that I bought for $130,000, which was a big purchase mistake by the way, tanked to $70,000. The Nashville house I purchased for $240K plummeted to $180K in value. And finally, the Phoenix property that I bought for $270,000 tanked to $130K, losing more than 50% of its value. You total all that up and it adds up to $470,000 of lost property value. Now, through thick and thin, I did manage to hold on to all these properties, with the exception of the Oklahoma house that I sold for a $90,000 loss. Despite the fact that most of my losses were paper losses, it was still a very difficult time for me and many other people. I was seriously hustling to keep what renters I had in place and make those monthly payments just to stay afloat. It literally felt like weathering a Category 5 storm just putting one foot in front of the other, trying to just get through this whole mess. To experience this downfall firsthand, I learned a lot of important lessons that I want to share with you. The first being that if you want to avoid disaster and not lose a lot of money in real estate, understand that real estate has cycles, and you have to understand where exactly you are in the cycle. I never understood this back then. I always thought that real estate prices just go up, and for the most part they do, but they can also go down big time. The real estate market has cycles where there are up years and then there are down years. If you take a look at today's real estate market, right now we are in an extreme upcycle where prices are exploding. The median price of a home nationally has increased 20+% year over year. To me, this is the danger zone where I won't buy anything personally. For those of you that are just beginning, the appreciation rates are so extreme and unprecedented right now that you should be wary as a buyer. Real estate prices usually appreciate 2 to 8% year over year. So these appreciation rates right now are really alarming. These are not normal times. As a home buyer or homeowner in the current market, with these high skyrocketing prices, there's a greater chance in the future that your house values will fall. Back in 2005, where house prices were appreciating similar to now, it's easy to get caught up in the euphoria. I see a lot of home buyers experience their fair share of FOMO. However, in general, the best time to buy real estate is in a down market. The reason being is that you'll get a cheaper house price, but also your loan amount will be smaller as well, making the monthly mortgage payment easier to control. I remember a great teacher of mine said to me that the secret to being successful in real estate is to be counterintuitive. He said, buy when everybody hates it in a down market and sell when everybody wants it in an up market. The second thing I learned to avoid extreme losses is to get educated by the best real estate investment teachers. In my humble opinion, there's really only a handful of them out there to learn from, where you get the best real-world knowledge and also at the same time not get charged an astronomical amount. Listen to people like John Schaub, the father of single-home real estate investing, Bruce Norris, Peter Fortunato, and Gary Johnston, to name a few. These guys will show you the best way and help you be successful. With that being said, I urge you to avoid so-called gurus who charge expensive prices for their real estate courses. Not only can you lose money on buying bad houses or bad investments, you can also lose money by paying for expensive courses that just don't deliver. You don't have to pay some $20,000 for some expensive real estate course because that education can be had for much cheaper if you go to the people I mentioned above. I think paying $20,000 or $30,000 for a real estate course is one of the biggest mistakes people can make. In many states, that's a down payment for a house. Stepping on my soapbox for a moment, remember your hard-earned $20,000 or whatever amount that is took a lot of time and sacrifice. To many people, this is a lot of money. Don't give your hard-earned money away to these so-called gurus promising you wealth and riches. The whole point of real estate investing is to create a better financial future for yourself, not for them. By the way, I will have a list of these teachers down in the description. And also, I don't get paid by any of them for recommending them to you. They helped me tremendously in my real estate investment career, so I'm just passing this along. Third thing I learned to avoid major losses is to know that leverage cuts both ways. Using leverage by taking out a loan can make you wealthier faster, no doubt about it, but it can also make you poorer faster as well. Think of leverage as a tool, like a very sharp chef's knife. A chef's knife is an incredible kitchen tool that can help you make great meals easier and faster. But at the same time, for those who don't know how to use it, you can also cut your finger off and make a bloody mess. Use leverage wisely by taking out debt that you are able to control. Always remember that if you can control the debt by controlling the monthly mortgage payment, you control the house. In the 2009 financial crisis, the bad use of leverage is how I saw my multimillionaire friends lose all their properties. With too much debt on their properties, rents plummeting, job losses mounting, they couldn't control the monthly mortgage payment and everything snowballed. Okay, the fourth thing I learned on how to not lose a bunch of money in real estate is to always try to buy properties in the best school districts. The houses in these areas always does best in retaining their value in a down market. The reason why they keep their value is simple. Families will always want to purchase houses in the best school districts for their kids. Parents will sacrifice and cut many expenses when times get hard, but cutting the quality of their kids' education is last on their list. They will always pay more and make that extra effort for their kids to get the best education by being in the best school district. All right, guys, I hope what I said helps you on your financial journey. If you got any value out of this, help me out with a like or subscribe. And for those who want to dig deeper into real estate and personal finance, check out my other videos where I do a deep dive on why houses are so expensive these days and the secrets to the best real estate markets in the future. And I'll see you on the next one.